Greetings from Telangana Tribal Welfare Residential Degree College for Women, Medak. I am Chandrika, lecturer in Commerce. Today, I would like to give a lecture on Principles of Management, which is very important topic in the subject of Business Organization and Management for semester 1 in the course of BCom. So, what is exactly this principles of management? Before entering into the main topic of the principles of management, we need to discuss what exactly the management. So generally we use the term of management in our conversations, like for example, can you able to manage the time, can you able to manage the group of people, how best you can manage the events. Like this we say the manage word in normal conversations. But what exactly this management? So in my session the first topic is concept of management. Management is a group activity. So wherever the group of people are there the management is very much essential. Like some of the activities individual cannot perform without the help of group of people. So whenever he is taking the help of group of people, at that time he need the talent of managing those people also. In what sense the person is going to manage the group of people? It is like planning. Proper planning is required to complete a particular event or to achieve the particular target. So it starts with the planning of an event and organizing the people resources and making them to understand what exactly they have to do. So it's like directing the people what to do, how to do, and how best they can able to do. So it's like directing them and even coordinating them. There should be a proper cooperation and coordination between the group of people, then only the proper goal can be achieved. Then even controlling those people also is one of the most important activity. So these all are the different activities which are going to be performed by the particular person whenever he is dealing with the group of people. So management is a group activity. So wherever organized group of people are there and they are working towards achievement of a common goal, organized group of people and the common goal means those group of people should have only one goal, common goal. Then at that time management is required. Managing those people is very much essential to achieve that particular goal. Then management is an art of getting things done. So this is why we are saying this is an art. Means the manager is required, the person who is managing the group of people, he is required different arts, like art of planning, art of directing, art of coordinating with the people, art of motivating and inspiring them so that they can come forward to do the work in an appropriate way and they can able to give their best for the sake of achievement of the objectives. So that is why management is called an art of getting things done. Then why this management actually is required? If there is a goal, there compulsory the management is required. Management is needed over there. Wherever the goals are there, wherever the objectives are there, there the management is very much essential. So this management even required for establishment of goals, and it provides a way for accomplishment of predefined goals. So whatever the goals are already established, those goals has to be achieved with the help of management. So management is required wherever the goals are there, wherever the objectives are predefined, there the management is required. So then another one is management is a social process. Why we are calling this management as a social process? because it is dealing with the people. As we discussed just now, management is a group activity, getting things done with the people or from the people, and it is goal oriented. So with these things we can able to say that management is a social process because it is dealing with the people, and management is having obligation towards the society also. So efforts of human beings have to be directed and coordinated and regulated. That is why it is called as a social process. Then management is also called as a one of the factor of production. Then in general, what are the factors of production? There are 5 factors of production. One is money, second one is men, third one is material, fourth one is machine. Last but not the least one, that is called management. So these are the 5 factors of production. Without these factors, business cannot run, or production cannot start, or any type of event cannot occur without these 5 factors. Okay, then why this management is required here? We all know that the 4 factors which are very much important for the sake of doing the business, like money, financial resources. Without financial resources, without capital, the person cannot start the business. In the same way, if the person is having money, he himself cannot do all the business activities. There is a requirement of people in the organization. Those we can say human resources. Men are very much required for the sake of doing all the different activities in the business. Then in the same way, material is required in case if there is a production, conversion of raw materials into the different products, there compulsory the material is required. Then machine or technology is required for the sake of converting the so and so raw material into the finished products, or to complete the task there is a requirement of technology. Then you may ask me that why this management is required over here. We have all these 4, no, we can start a business and we can run a business in an effective way. But I will say that most important thing here, without this last factor management, all these 4 factors are useless. Why? Why in the sense here, money you have, but how best you have to utilize this money, there the management is required. You need to make a plan, like if you have 10 lakhs rupees, then you have to make a allocation of this money towards different activities. There the planning is required, there the management knowledge is required. Then you have people, but you don't know how to allocate the work to them, where the people has to be placed in the duties, and how best those people are to be directed, then only they can perform the activities. If you are not going to give orders or procedure, if you don't explain what to do, then they may not do any work at all, so it is useless. So direction, giving guidelines is very very important to the men. Then if not, men cannot perform the activities. Then next one is material. To produce a product or number of products, how much material is required, that also you should know. Then only you can allocate the material to the particular product, and you can avoid the wastages also. There sometimes the men may wastage the material and even wastage their time also while performing the activities. There exactly the planning and the schedule is required, that is done by the manager. Then machine is also there, but how best you have to use that machine without breakdown of the machine. Proper utilization of the assets are very very important. If you don't utilize those assets in a proper way, again and again the purchase of machines or the assets are required, which may leads to increase in the cost of production. So to manage all these 4, there is a requirement of management. So optimum utilization of all these 4 resources is in the hands of the manager. That is why I said management is not the last factor. It is very very important factor for optimum utilization of all the 4 above factors. So that is why management is a factor of production. Then coming to the another one, management is in universal in nature. Why we are calling it is universal? Why means all organizations can use this management. We can say everywhere the management is used. Like what all organizations? In business organizations like profit oriented organizations and non-profit oriented organizations like educational institutions or clubs, cultural institutions, there also the management is required. Why means in all these organizations, individual is not only performing his duty, there are group of people performing their activities. So wherever the group of people are doing the task, there the management is essential. Like even religious activities also, group of people involvement will be there the management is must. And in politics and military, there also management is required. So we can say finally management is an universal in character. Everywhere the management is used. Then the next one is management is called as an art as well as science. Why we are calling it as a science? First of all, we'll discuss that. Why means there are some principles developed by the professionals, philosophers and the management thinkers. They developed some principles, generalizations and techniques which are universally applicable. So these principles and techniques, methods, all these were used by every person who is managing the particular activity. That activity can be anywhere, either in the business or in non-business activities, cultural activities, educational organizations, anywhere. Wherever the people are, wherever the person is managing the group of people, there these principles are applicable. These principles are just like guidelines to do the activities in a appropriate way or in a perfect way. So that is why we'll call it as a science. So generally the science is developed through some experiments or observations or conclusions drawn by the person after solving the problems continuously. So whenever they get the problems, even they go for different solutions. So when they adopt different solutions, out of that which is the best one, based on that this science has developed. So it is not the physical science, again I am saying here, it is not the physical science, it is the social science. But still this social science also, it was developed through some experiments and based on the observation and based on some in a practical way. When they are solving the problems, at that time they developed these principles. That is why we'll call it as a science. Then management is also called an art. Why we are calling it as an art? It is systematic application of skill and systematic application of knowledge. So whatever the skills, knowledge the person is having, he should apply in an appropriate way, in a systematic way to solve the problems or even to achieve the particular goals. He need to apply the knowledge or the skill whatever he has in a systematic way. Further, the personal ability is very, very important. Personal skill is very, very important. How best he can implement the principles which were developed by the science of management, how best he can implement and which principle he has to implement, he should know. That is totally depends upon the personal ability of a particular person. So that is why it is called as an art. So here a manager is going to use his own knowledge to find the solution for the particular problem. He will have the guidelines anyway. The why we are calling it as management as a science? Science is giving some guidelines and principles, but manager should know which principle has to be utilized or which principle has to be applied in a particular situation. That is totally depends upon the knowledge and the skill which the manager is having. So that is why management is called an art as well as science. Then coming to the definitions of the management. Number of people given the definitions of management. So we discuss a few definitions over here. Management is the art of getting things done through others. So in the concept itself we discussed management is one of the activity with which the person can able to accomplish his goals with the help of group of people. So this was the definition given by Mary Parker Follett. Then management is the art of getting things done through and with the people in formally organized groups. So in the formally organized group, management is required to get the things done through the people or with the people. This is the definition given by Harold Counts. Then Henry Fayol is, we can say, the father of functional management. This person given the definition, to manage is to forecast and plan and to organize, to command, to coordinate and to control. This definition is based upon the management is so and so activities. Based on the process of management, this definition was given by Henry Fayol. It is the process he explained here in his theory or in his definition, how to forecast, how to make a plan, and how to organize, command the people and to coordinate and control. These are the different activities which comes under in the management. In the same way, George R. Terry is also given the definition which also gives the same meaning. Management is a process. Management is a distinct process consisting of activities of planning, organizing, activating and controlling. So it starts with the activities of planning, organizing, and how best they can able to do the activities, and who can able to control, how to control the activities of a group of people performed to determine and to accomplish started objectives with the use of human beings and other resources. So how to accomplish the objectives which are predefined with the help of human beings and even other resources. That is a definition given by George R. Terry. So finally we can say here, management is art of getting things done with the help of people, and management is a process, like it starts with the planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating and controlling. So this is different functional areas are very very important under the management. Then we need to enter into the main topic now, the principles of management. So these principles of management, there were 14 principles of management. These principles were suggested by one of the French industrialist named Henry Fayol. So before entering into the principles of management, we'll discuss a little bit about the Henry Fayol. So Henry Fayol was born in France in 1841. He graduated in 1860 and joined as a mining engineer in French mining company. And slowly he has rose to the position of the chief managing director based on his outstanding performance in the industry in 1888. Then from 1888 to 1918, he was the managing director of the company. He became the managing director of the company. Then at that time he developed general theory of management based on his practical experience as a successful industrialist. So as he became from the lower position to the higher position like director of the company, at that time based on his experience he developed principles, and at that time in the year 1916 he published the book. The book name is called Administration Industrielle et General in French. Then later on in 1929 it was translated into English named as General and Industrial Management. So this is about Henry Fayol, and his major contributions also we'll discuss little bit. He identified and classified the business activities. As he has one of the principle, he developed division of work, division of labor. For that sake, he need to classify the business activities. So he has classified the business activities into commercial activities, financial activities, even accounting activities and marketing activities, so on. Then another contribution is he has identified management as a separate set of skills or functions. Based on that, he decided, or he said that there are 5 elements of functions. Those 5 elements are: one is the forecasting or planning, and the second one is organizing, third one is commanding, fourth one is coordinating, and the fifth one is controlling. These are the 5 functions he developed. He identified these are the most important 5 functions in the management of a particular business. Then he developed universal principles of management. That is what exactly we are going to discuss in next slides. And he emphasized on the managerial qualities. What exactly the manager required qualities. On that also he focused. Then coming to the principles. So we discuss now the introduction towards the principle. What is this principle? Principle refers to the fundamental truth. These principles establishes the cause and effect relationship between two or more variable under the particular given situation. So cause and effect is nothing but if you do particular activity, what is the effect of that activity on the achievement of goals. So generally the science principle is also that cause and effect relationship it shows. In the same way as we said, management is also social science. So it also gives the cause and effect relationship. If the manager or a particular person do the particular activity, then what is the effect of that activity on the particular job or on the particular department, and in turn on the achievement of the organizational objectives. Then these principles serves as a guidelines for doing the activities in a better way. So principles are derived from the observations and analysis, continuous observation of problems and the solutions and the situations, and making analysis from that these principles were developed. And through experiments also the principles can be developed. So now we'll enter into the exact topic of Henry Fayol's 14 principles of management. You can see the picture over here. 14 principles are, it starts with the division of work is one. Second one is parity of authority and relationship. Third one is discipline. Fourth one is unity of command. Next one, unity of direction. Next one, subordination of individual interest towards the general interest. Then next one, centralization and remuneration is one, and scalar chain, order, equity, and the next one is stability of tenure of labor, initiative, and the last one is esprit de corps. These are the 14 principles which were suggested by Henry Fayol. Then we'll discuss one by one out of these 14 principles. The first one is division of labor. According to Fayol, the work should be identified. All the activities of work are grouped together. Then these activities are divided among the employees or among the laborers. Then what happens here, when the work is divided among the employees or the laborers, they do that particular task itself. So particular person is given the particular task, then continuously is going to perform the same task. When he performs the task again and again, then he will be specialized in that particular task, or he will be specialized in that particular job. He will become the expert in that particular job. Once he become the expert in that particular job, then he will complete the task taking lesser time comparatively the previous one. So he wants to make the laborers to be an expert in that particular job. For that sake, the work should be divided among the laborers or the workers, and they will be given only one particular task. So they can become the expert in that particular task. With that, what happens? Time can be saved, and he can do the number of activities in a better way. Then with that, what happens? The production can increase, and the efficiency of laborers also can increase. So what happens here? The kinds of activities are divided and allotted to the various persons, and which may lead to the easiest achievement of the objectives. And individuals can improve their speed in performing their particular activity because they are doing continuously same activity again and again, which leads to specialization and which may improve the working ability of the particular individual. He can expert in that particular activity, and with that the confidence levels of the individual can improve. If the worker or the employee's confidence levels are high, then that person can give the maximum is best to the organization. This is about division of labor or specialization. Then next principle, parity of authority and responsibility. So here, according to this principle, authority must be equal to the responsibility. To whom the authority is given, that person should be made responsible for that particular job also. So here authority refers right of superiors. Responsibility means obligation for the performance of the job assigned. So authority is nothing but right to do the activities, right to make an order, and right to influence the people, the right to make a decision in a particular situation, or up to what extent the authority is given, up to that extent the person is given right to take his own decision. He can take up the initiative activities. He will have the all different rights with which he can able to achieve the goals. That is called exactly authority. Then when he has given this much right, then he should be given even accountability also towards his activities. Then that is called the responsibility. If the authority is given to the particular person and he is not given the responsibility, then that particular person may misuse that authority. He may misuse that authority for dominating the subordinates instead of making good plans, or instead of making proper direction, or instead of motivating them. He may misuse that authority for dominating the people and changing the mindset of the subordinates, or even sometimes laborers also. So with that, what happens? The total environment which is prevailing in the organization may change. So that should not be done. That is the reason how much authority is given to the particular person, equivalent responsibility should be given. In the sense, he is accountable towards the what all activities he is going to perform with that, using that authority. So these two should be balanced, in the sense there should be an equal symbol between the authority and responsibility. It's not like that authority is more and the responsibility is less. In case if the authority is more and the responsibility is less, then it may leads to irresponsible behavior of a particular person. Then in case if the responsibility is high and the authority is less, then at that time the person who has given the responsibility, that person cannot able to achieve his objectives. Ineffective, he becomes ineffective because he may not have the right to say anything to the subordinate. He may not have the right to even direct the subordinates or coordinate or make an order to the subordinate, because he is not having sufficient authority which is required for accomplishing the objectives. So what I want to say is, here there should be a balance between the authority and responsibility, which is very much required for the sake of achieving the organizational goals. Then next principle is discipline. Discipline is nothing but here sincerity, obedience, respect towards the authorized persons, and observance of rules and regulations of particular organization. There is a requirement of following the policies, rules and regulations of that particular organization by every employee. From bottom to top, everyone has to follow the rules and regulations, and they have to respect their superiors, and they have to even respect their subordinates also, because without the subordinate help, the superior cannot achieve the objectives. So subordinates should respect their superiors, and for the sake of smooth running of the enterprise. So actually if the organization has to run smoothly without any obstacles, without any problems in between, the employees or in between the departments or into overall the organization, there is a requirement of discipline. So how this discipline can be enforced? There should be good superiors, whoever is framing rules, regulations, whoever is making policies. Those superiors should understand the ability of the subordinates and the situations prevailing in their organization and available resources and available human resources. Based on that, some rules has to be framed. So superior must be in a position to frame the rules in an appropriate way, so that every employee can able to satisfy with the rules and regulations, so that they can give their best to the achievement of the organizational goals. Then there should be clear and fair agreements with workers. So in a proper way, there should be a proper communication channel actually here, from top to bottom and bottom to top. So that what happens, bottom level people can able to say freely whatever the problems they are facing, or what exactly they want for the sake of doing the activities in a better way with the superiors, and superiors should be in a position to understand the bottom level people. So there should be good communication between the superiors and subordinates, and clear cut agreement should be made. Then sanctions are judiciously applied. So whatever the sanctions are there, promotional rules are there, everything should be applied according to the policies which are framed previously. So this is what totally discipline. Then coming to the next principle, unity of command or principle of one boss. So according to this principle, there should be one boss for giving orders. If the employee or the bottom level people gets too many instructions or too many orders from different people, or too many orders from one boss also, he will be confused which order he has to implement, which instruction he has to follow. Then in that confusion, what happens, employee or the bottom level people, they may not complete their task in confusion of too many instructions, or they may not do their task in an efficient way. That is a reason to avoid this confusion, or dual subordination can be avoided, and even commanding from top level people. Too many people are commanding the subordinates or the bottom level people. At that time, bottom level people or the subordinates will lead to the confusion. In that confusion, they may not achieve or they may not accomplish their task. And to get the to achieve the proper discipline in the organization, and to give the proper orders to the subordinates, there is a requirement of employee should be ordered by only one boss. One group of people should get the instructions from one boss itself, not from too many bosses. Then because of that, what happens, harmonious relationship between the superiors and the subordinates can be achieved, and the subordinate should not receive the instructions from more than one boss. So if one person is giving instructions, he may directly follow the instructions which is given by that particular person, and he will follow those instructions for the sake of completion of the task in an efficient way. So that is called here unity of command. Commanding can be done by only single boss to the group of people. Then next, unity of direction. Here one head and one plan. It's not only one head, one direction is required. Only one plan is required. If too many plans were developed by the manager and too many plans are given to the employees, then few people may follow one plan, few people may follow another plan, another direction. Then but these group of people are for common goal. They are doing their task for the sake of achieving the common goal. When there is a common goal and the group of people are trying to achieve that common goal, there should be one plan only, one direction only. If too many plans and too many directions are given, again dividing those group of people into different groups, and different groups are following different directions, then finally whatever they need to achieve, that may not be achieved in a proper way. Means actually what is here exactly in the organization, with the group of people, the organization should able to achieve the organizational goals. The main intention is to achieve the organizational goals. When there is a common goal is there for a particular group, why don't we give the common direction? Only one plan should be given to the group of people who are ready to achieve common goal. One goal, one group of people and one plan. That is what exactly the principle followed here. So that what happens, efforts of all the members of the organization should be directed towards the common goal. Whatever the common goal is there, everyone effort is directed towards to achieve that particular common goal itself. That is why there the unity of direction is required. So unity of command is not possible without unity of direction. If one plan is there, one person can able to direct. If too many plans are there, obviously there is a requirement of too many people to direct. Whoever has made that plan, that person has to explain that plan and he has to direct the subordinates. So too many plans lead to too many orders. Too many orders leads to too many bosses. So that is why unity of command is not possible without the unity of direction. So without any unity of direction, unity of action cannot be achieved. If there is any unity in the direction, automatically there will be unity in the activities of the subordinates. So if the organization wants the unity of activities among the employees or a particular group of people, then there is a requirement of unity of direction. So here one thing, always there will be a confusion between the unity of command and unity of direction, but there is a slight difference between the unity of command and unity of direction. Unity of command is relating to the functioning of the people to whom the command directions has to be given, who is the subordinate, who is the superior. It is totally relating to the people functioning in the organization is called unity of command. But unity of direction is relating to the activities of the organization. How best the activities or functions are performed by the subordinates, it totally depends upon the unity of direction. So if there is a unity of direction, automatically there is a possibility of achieving unity of action. Then coming to the next principle, subordination of individual interest towards the general interest. So here actually there may be a difference between the individual interest and the general interest in some situations. Like individual interest in the sense subordinate interest. Subordinate wants to do the activity in a different way, but group goal is different. So what is exactly required here? There should be a reconciliation between the individual interest and the group interest, because in the organization group interest is very much important. Group interest is always for the sake of achieving the group objectives, but individual interest is always achieving for the sake of individual objective. So achieving individual objectives is not the criteria in the organization. Achieving the group activities is most important criteria in the organization. So what the manager has to do here? He has to inspire and motivate the subordinates, and he should be in a position to convert the individual interest towards the group interest for the sake of achievement of the organizational goals. There should not be conflict between the individual interest and the group interest. Individual must able to sacrifice his interest towards the organization interest. In order to achieve this attitude in the minds of the employees or the subordinates, what the superior has to do? Employee should be honest and sincere is one thing, means the superior should mold the employee's attitude in that way. He should be in a position to give some guidelines. He should be in a position to inspire them, motivate them for the sake of achieving the organizational objectives. Then proper and regular supervision is required by the superior. He should regularly supervise the subordinates, and he should regularly motivate them in case if they are doing the activity in a different way. Then counseling, proper counseling and proper communication should between the superior and the subordinate is very much required here. Then reconciliation of mutual differences. Wherever there is a mutual differences between the subordinates or between the subordinate and the superior, there the reconciliation should be done by the manager. Then only this subordination of individual interest towards the general interest is possible. If all the employees are having the same interest, then they can try to achieve the goal of the particular group. Then only they, with that only they can able to achieve the organizational goals. So that is one of the principle. Next, fair remuneration. Here, to satisfy both the employer and the employees, there should be proper determination of the remuneration. So how the remuneration can be fixed? Based on the work of the employee, based on his activities, based on his efficiency, what all different activities he is performing in the organization, what is his qualification, what is his position in the organization, what are different activities he is performing other than the job which is given to him. Based on that, the remuneration can be fixed to the employees. Then other than that, even there is a requirement of taking into condition the economic conditions prevailing in the particular area or in the country, and the cost of living and work assigned to the particular person. Based on all these, the remuneration should be fixed in a fair manner. In case if the remuneration is not fixed in a proper way, like employee is doing more activities, he is rendering maximum service to the organization, but his remuneration is very less, then he will dissatisfy, which may leads to turnover of the employees. Means he may try to leave from the organization. If the employees are leaving like that from the organization, it may leads to increase in the cost of recruitment. Again, the employer needs to go for recruitment process, selection, placement, training of the employees. This may leads to increase in the cost of organization. That is the reason remuneration should be fixed in a fair manner. Provision of other benefits also. Not only the remuneration, the benefits like free education to the employees' children, then medical facilities, residential facilities for the some of the employees who is working from morning to night, midnight. For them, even there is a requirement of residential facilities also, where the employees are working more than 12 hours or 24 hours. For them, even other facilities, residential facilities, medical facilities should be provided. So that what happens with these all different benefits, employee will be satisfied to work in the organization. He will get the maximum satisfaction to work in the organization. With that satisfaction, he will be loyal towards the organization. He never move from the organization because he is satisfied over there with the financial benefits as well as non-financial benefits. Then once he is satisfied, he'll try to give his best to the organization. He never move from the organization. In turn, it is a benefit to the organization itself. If the employees are not moving from the organization, then automatically the cost of the organization decreases. Cost of recruitment decreases. Every year recruitment process is not required. Then management creates a harmonious relationship and pleasing atmosphere of work. If there is a fair remuneration and providing financial assistance as well as non-financial assistance or facilities to the employees, automatically there is a possibility of harmonious relationship between the employer and the employee. Then here positive environment may prevail in the organization also. Means this may leads to increase the positive attitude of the employees, and they will try to work hard for the sake of development of the organization. That is called fair remuneration. Then coming to the next principle, centralization. To discuss this centralization, even we should understand what is decentralization. Centralization is concentration of authority at the top level. and opposite to that is called decentralization, disposal of decision making authority to all the levels of the organization. Means every level of the organization can take their own decision. That much right is given to the even managers or different departments. That is called decentralization. So resting of authority at the top level or in the hands of the one person is called centralization. So here, why this centralization and decentralization is required? There should be a proper policy in the organization where the centralization concept is should be followed, where the decentralization concept is followed. Means up to what extent the centralization is required, and left out we can go for the decentralization. Then increasing the role of the subordinates is called decentralization. Decreasing the role of the subordinates is called centralization. So it is not feasible. The organization should strive to achieve a lot between the two. In the sense, there should be a differentiation between the centralization and decentralization. Up to some extent, the centralization rules should be followed, and later on the decentralization concept should be followed, because every time in everywhere, if the top level management has to take a decision, means there what happens in a particular situation, there is no that much time to communicate to the top level people from the bottom level. At that time, bottom level people has to take the immediate decision to avoid the particular circumstances. Then there the decentralization is required. So what I want to say, where the immediate decision making is required, where the superiors are efficient and they can able to take up the particular decision, like where the manager heads of the particular departments are efficient and they can handle their own situations in an effective way, there the decentralization is applied. Means though efficient managers are there, means efficient and powerful managers are there at the bottom level, then the decentralization can be applicable. There the managers can be given the power to take their own decision. They can use that power in different situations and they can take the better decision, and they are accountable for their decision making also, like parity of authority and responsibility is followed there. Then where exactly the decision making is very crucial and which may affect the overall organization, there the centralization has to be followed. One decision may reflect on other department. One department decision is reflecting on the other departmental activities as well as overall organization. There exactly the top level people has to take the decision. There the centralization concept is used. So the manager should be in a position to understand that up to what extent the centralization is followed, and left out where they have to follow the decentralization concept. That is what centralization and decentralization. This is very much essential for the sake of taking decisions immediately to avoid some situations, and sometimes a decision should be done by the top level people to get the benefit to overall organization, which may reflect on the organizational objectives. Then coming to the another principle, scalar chain. So what is this scalar chain? Scalar chain is a chain of superiors ranging from the ultimate authority to the lowest level. This is the chain here who has to give the orders and instructions, and from where the orders has to be sent, and orders, how the orders has to communicate to the bottom level, who has to give the instructions to whom. This is totally comes under in the scalar chain. And even here communication also, how the communication channel should follow in the organization. It is top to bottom, bottom to top. Directly the bottom level person cannot communicate with the top level higher authority. So he should communicate with his superior, and that person should communicate with his superior. Like that the chain of communication flows here. So this scalar chain, in the sense here, chain of superiors ranging from the top to bottom, and in that way the authority also flows from top to bottom. Every order should be comes from the superiors. and instructions should pass from the superior to the subordinate. So here sometimes there will be some temporary adjustments and modifications can be done. For example, you can see this chart here. Here if you see A to F and A to P. When A to F and A to P is there, here A to F and A to P. A is the superior, highest authority, top level people, and the authority flows like this from top to bottom. Like this, the other side also from A to P. And the responsibility flows from bottom to top. In the same way, here also from bottom to top. Okay, so here anything if F want to give information to A, he cannot directly give the information to the A. He has to give information to E, he has to give information to D, D to C, B and A. In that way, the information flows upward, and in the same way, orders and instructions also, like A to L, L to M, M to N and N to O and O to P. In that way only orders and instructions should flow. Authority should always flow from top to bottom, and responsibility should flow from bottom to top. This is what the scalar chain. But in some situations, what happens, there is a requirement of communicating immediately to the particular person. Like the person who is here, F wants to give the information directly to P. But if we follow the scalar chain principle, the information should flow like this and from here to here. It takes lot of time. Then in that particular situation, we can break this chain. Some modification can be done. Here directly F can give the information to P. That is what here the gangplank. Okay, so directly the information can be taken from F to B. Information flows from F to B. This is called the temporary arrangement between two different points, which facilitates the quick and easy communication. This modification, this shortcut is called as gangplank. In case of urgency and in case if there is an emergency situation where there is no time to communicate with the top level people, and again top level people has to give instruction to the next bottom level people, means it takes maximum time. To avoid that, this gangplank can be used. This is about scalar chain. Then next, coming to the next principle, order. Don't think order is here giving instructions or ordering to the bottom level people. It's not that order. Order is here everything should be arranged in a proper way. It is proper and systematic arrangement of things and people in the organization. There should be a proper material arrangement, and there should be a proper human resources arrangement also. Okay, so this arrangement, material arrangement is called here material order, and placement of people in a particular place according to their qualification, according to their skills, knowledge. People should be placed in a particular position where exactly they are suitable, which task they can able to do in a perfect way without any dissatisfaction. Which person is suitable where, which position, giving that position and giving directions, proper directions to them, proper guidelines to them, that comes under in the social order. Placement of people is called as a social order. So material order should be like that. It should be very safe and appropriate, and where exactly the material has to be placed, which material is needed in which department. In that way the material order should be there. Means taking that material to the particular department, transferring to that material to that particular department is very much essential. So for example, material required in department A may be given to the department B. What happens again, from department B to department A, that material has to be transferred. This leads to some wastage of time here. Wastage of time in transferring, as well as wastage of time for the sake of waiting for the availability of material. Instead of that, in which department what material is required, that material should be placed in that particular department. For which work, which type of equipment, material and resources are required. It's not only the material here, what all resources are required in a particular functional area, all those resources are placed in that particular functional area. That is called exactly order. And which kind of people are required, which qualified people, which kind of qualification is required, which kind of skills and knowledge is required, that kind of people should be placed in that particular area. That is very important, because to what happens if the one person who is not suitable in that particular department, but that person is given that job, he don't know first of all how to do that job, and even though knowing that job if he do also, he may not give his best there, because he is not interested in that particular area, he is not having interest in that particular area. It's not only like that having knowledge and skills, even the person is having interest in that particular area is also most important, because the person who do the job with an interest is different, and the person who do the job with a force is different. Because the person may know to do how to do that particular task, but he don't have interest. But what happens, he may do that job in a mechanical way, he may not keep his interest in that, he may not keep his wholeheartedly, may not do that task. Then at that time there will be a difference between the task performing by that person and the other person who is doing wholeheartedly that particular task. There the efficiency matters here. That person may be lower efficient and the other person may be proved as higher efficient. Once the person who is doing that task without interest, no, when he is proved like an inefficient person, this may demotivate the person. He may not perform even other activities also in an efficient way. So unnecessarily this may leads to demotivating the employees, dissatisfaction among the employees. That is the reason there is a requirement of placing the proper people at the proper position, where the person is having interest, which how much knowledge he has there, what are the skills he has, and how best he can able to perform. Taking into consideration all these things, the people should be placed in that particular area. So there should be everything in a proper order. All the resources should be in a proper order, comes under in the order principle. Social order, selection, appointment of most suitable persons on the suitable job. Suitable person, suitable in the suitable job, and interested, enthusiastic people who has zeal in that particular area, enthusiasm in that particular area, those people should be given that particular job. And placing all the resources in a particular area where exactly is required, that comes under in the order. Then coming to the next principle, equity. Equity means justice and kindliness. It is treating every employee in an equal way. Equity based kindliness is very much important in the organization. Dealing with the employees, when the superior or the top level people are dealing with the employees, they should treat equally all the employees. It can be regarding fixing of remuneration, regarding giving task to the employees, or authority, maybe delegation of authority, or in any situation, anything also there. Equity based kindliness is very much important. Employer should treat all the employees equally. It can be in the financial matters or non-financial matters or functional areas, or giving tasks to the employees or delegation of authority, anywhere. Equity is very much important. Why this equity is required? Why means, if the employer is treating employees in a different way, like one is totally partial towards the one of the employee, and is not at all caring the other employee who is very talented, but that person is not given that particular project or the task, then what happens, that person who is intelligent as well as having knowledge in that particular task, but he is not given that task, he will be demotivated. He thinks that I am not that much efficient, that is the reason he is not given the task. He may feel like that. This kind of feelings leads to demotivation and dissatisfaction in that particular organization, and this in turn leads to turnover of employee from the organization. Okay, so that is why equity based justice is very much important in the organization. It does not mean every time like total absence of force and harshness. Force and harshness is also required, giving orders in a strict way, and sometimes if the subordinates are not performing activities, there the superior can be harsh towards that particular person. But wherever there are common things are there, their equity is very much important, like remuneration it can be, or delegation of authority, or giving tasks to the employees. There equity based or kindliness and justice is very much important. Equity based kindliness and justice is very much important in that particular area. That is why equity is one of the most important principle for the sake of reducing the turnover of employees and satisfying the employees in the organization, and this even required for motivating the subordinates. Inculcating zeal and enthusiasm in the minds of employees is possible with the equity based treatment. Then coming to the next principle, stability of tenure. Stability of tenure of employees. Tenure is here nothing but moving of employees from the organization. They are not stable in the organization. Frequent movement of these employees from the organization leads to absence of employees in the organization, and again for that sake superiors or the top level people has to go for recruitment process. They have to go for recruitment process. For that more cost may incur, because recruitment process is not the simple task. They need to go for giving advertisement for the different positions vacancy, and they have to conduct interviews or some tests they have to conduct. They need to select the efficient people over there. If the efficient people they are not finding, they need to even select the related persons in that particular job, and those people has to be trained in the particular positions. After training, those people has to be given the position. This is the biggest task of the top level people. Recruitment process is one of the most costly one, as well as it takes the maximum time also. Up to that time without employees the organization has to run. Then what happens with that, some of the activities may be stopped over there, or with the few people who are available in the organization, with those people only they have to continue the activities. Then it can become the overburden on the employees who are there in the organization, and they may feel also this is an overburden, and they will try to move from the organization. Because once the few set of people are moved from the organization, automatically it may create the negative impression on the existing employees. So automatically that negative impression may leads to moving of those employees also from the organization. So even if they appoint the new people also, those people has to adjust with the environment and the task in the organization. It also takes the time. So up to adjustment of the employees in that particular area also, they may not give their full-fledged activities. They may not perform the activities in an efficient way. So there may be lot of money should be spent on the training, and worker will go waste of time also, and waste of money also. That is the reason there is a requirement of stability of employees in the. If employees are stable in the organization, then it may leads to decrease in the cost of recruitment and other cost also. So stability of job has to be created by the employer in the organization. So this may create team spirit among the people and sense of belongingness among the workers. So if the employees feel that it is their own organization, they are going to be stay in the same organization for the longer period, then at that time they will create in their minds the sense of belongingness will be created. That sense of belongingness and team spirit exactly required for the sake of achieving the organizational goals. So which may leads to increasing the quality as well as quantity of work. People can become more efficient because they feel it is their own organization. They will give their level best in the particular activity. They'll try to give their level best, and they may, this sense of belongingness which is created among the employees, no, which may give the maximum benefit to the organization. So how to create this sense of belongingness and team spirit among the employees is by providing different facilities to the employees. Employees should always satisfy with the work what they are doing and what are the results which they are getting. Either it can be in the way of financial facilities, like it can be salary or promotional activities or medical and other facilities which are provided, or non-financial facilities also. So if the employer provides all kind of facilities to the employee, and employee is treated in equity based treatment is required to the employees, then if employee is not dissatisfied, he is satisfied over there, then he will stay longer period in that particular organization, which creates sense of belongingness among the workers, which leads to increase in the efficiency of the employees, automatically which leads to increase in the production of the organization. Organization efficiency also increases, and the reputation of organization also increases, because once if employees are moving from the organization, it may give the picture to the outsiders that maybe organization is not running properly, and organization may be not fulfilling the objectives of the individuals, or not giving proper facilities to the employees. Because of that only employees are moving. This kind of negative impression may be created in the minds of outside people. So this may leads to even decrease in the reputation. That is the reason stability of people is very, very important in the organization. Next, initiative. Here subordinates should be encouraged to come forward with the new things. Instead of giving same old instructions or the plans by the superiors should give somewhat freedom to the subordinate, so that subordinate can think out of box, out of plan he can think, and he can come with the new ideas. Sometimes those new ideas may leads to saving of time and saving of other resources also, which may leads to decrease in the cost of production also, because subordinates, when they are doing continuously task in a particular area, they are specialized in their area. When they are specialized in that particular area, some new ideas may be coming in their mind. With those new ideas, what happens, they may even give the new create with that creativity and the new ideas. Sometimes the efficiency of the employees may increase, and the efficiency of organization can increase. So that is why employee should be given somewhat freedom, so that he can think out of box. He should do the work enjoying in that particular organization, instead of giving orders continuously, orders given by the superior, and he may fed up with those orders. He may think that that particular task can be done in a different way. So that can be that chance can be given to the subordinate, so that once he can use his own ideas to complete that particular task. With that, what happens, even new way of planning can be done. So subordinate should be given the chance to give some suggestions for the sake of development of the organization. If superior encourages the subordinate to come with the new ideas and suggestions, and sometimes if the superior implement the suggestions of the subordinates, then automatically subordinate is motivated. He will get the satisfaction in doing the task, and he will be motivated, and that may create the sense of belongingness in the minds of the subordinates also. Next, last principle, last even but not least, we can say here, esprit de corps. Esprit de corps is nothing but team spirit and cooperation among the employees. So it refers to the team spirit. If team spirit is there, then the workers can achieve the group objectives. Interest of the undertaking is in the long run is very much important. The manager should infuse the team spirit and belongingness. Okay, so with the previous principles like giving proper orders and fair remuneration and giving somewhat freedom to the employees so that they can come forward with the creativity and initiativeness. That kind of activities may give the sense of belongingness among the employees. Once they get that belongingness, then they will come forward to do the activities in an efficient way. So they will work hard. Team spirit, they will come together with the group and they will try to achieve their group objectives. So here individual should motivate the team to come with the team spirit. Team spirit is very much important here for the sake of achieving the organizational objectives. And DCOPS is nothing but cooperation among the group of people. If the people are not cooperating, they are individually, they are doing their own task, it may not give the achievement of the group objectives. It may not lead to the achievement of the group objectives. That is why team spirit and cooperation among the employees, coordination, cooperation among the employees is very much important. The individual is doing his own task and he is not cooperating with the other person, then sometimes all workers may not be in the same situation on the particular day. If the one person is not coordinating and cooperating with other person cannot able to complete his task. If one individual or few people are unable to complete their task also, finally the group cannot achieve the objective, because here we are following the division of labor principle, division of work. So total work is divided among the people. When the total work is divided among the people, one person work is, once he completes, he will pass on to the other person. Then from there it pass on to the other person. Like that, if all the people complete their task, then only the organization goal can be achieved, or that particular group goal can be achieved. If one person is not in a position to complete, other persons can able to come forward and they should give their best to complete the task of that particular individual. That is called exactly coordination and cooperation among the people. This is very much important in the organization for the sake of achievement of the group objectives. So how this can be achieved? Proper coordination should be there, and they should be encouraged to develop the informal relations. If the people are maintaining informal relations among the people, like they may have the friendship among them or somewhat relationship among themselves, they will try to understand each other. If one person is absent on that also, that person work may be done by other person. If one person is not feeling well on that particular day also, that person work can be completed by other person. So informal relationships also required in the organization. Then create enthusiasm and keenness among the subordinates. Enthusiasm, zeal among the subordinates, so that they'll try to understand the other people and try to cooperate with those people. Then they will try to achieve the organizational objectives. Then sometimes there should be the policies like rewarding the employees also, who is doing best and who is exactly rendering their service in a critical situation. There those people can be rewarded. This may motivate the other people also, and the same person also to give his level best to the development of the organization. So these are the 14 principles of management which are most important for the sake of running the organization in a smooth way without any obstacles and without facing the problems. Then we are at the end of the session conclusion. These principles of management have been developed from the experiences of the philosophers, professionals. Then these principles provide guidelines as how managers should function in the different situations. These principles are just providing the guidelines. These are not like mechanically applied. These are just guidelines. These guidelines should be understood by the managers, and he should try to apply with his own knowledge and skill this particular principle where it is applicable. He should know that. So here understanding the principles is very much important, and with the individual ability he should be in a position to understand which principle is exactly applicable in a particular situation, in a particular problem, and which principles are most important in the organization. You should be try to understand, and those principles has to be applied. It's not like that mechanically applying of all the principles in the organization. According to the situation, the principle can be applied based on the available resources also, based on the situation, based on the available resources, based on the economic conditions, based on the prevailing conditions inside and outside the organization. These principles has to be applied. So it is totally in the hands of the manager how best he apply the principle with his own knowledge and skill, then he may get the maximum positive results. So individual factor plays most important part in using the principles. It's not like that principle itself gives the maximum benefit to the manager or the organization. It's not like that. Principle itself is not giving, but understanding that principle and how best he is going to apply in the particular situation, which situation in which principle in which situation is very much important. That understanding is very much important by the individual. So that is the reason here individual factor plays most important role. That is why we call the management is both art and science. Science is giving some guidelines, principles, generalizations, and those are universally applicable. But how best the individual is going to apply those principles in a particular situation to solve his problems and to come out of from the complex situations, that is totally depends upon the art or the knowledge which he has, knowledge and the skills which he have. Based on that only he can implement the principles. So finally I want to conclude that management is art as well as science. Science has given some principles, rules and regulations, generalizations, but it is totally individual factor plays the most important role for applying these principles as well as getting success in the organization. Okay, so this is about the principles of principles of management, and we discussed in this session management concept and Henry Fayol history little bit we discussed, where he worked, how he developed the principles, and we discussed all 14 principles of management. Hope you all understood the concept of principles of management, and thanks for listening patiently. Then thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you all.